I drove to Carver.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I'm gonna get sponsored. One of us is gonna get sponsored by one of these energy drink companies. I know it.
You know who owns that, right?
No.
The Rock.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, The Rock. He started this energy drink. What is it called so that everyone knows? It's Zoa. It's called the Zoa.
Yeah, the Healthy Warrior, dude. I just saw it because I'm like, okay, it's got a good amount of caffeine.
Good.
The only thing it had to sell me on was the
tea, right?
Yeah, green tea extract. I'm like, oh, that means I can drink as much as I want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, seriously, that's one of my favorites. It's actually brand new. I think it's only 160 milligrams of caffeine.
Perfect. What is
it's really, really good.
It says it's like natural, dude, but then you got talking about beta. It got some beta shit in here too.
Oh, dude, I can't have any beta part of me.
Beta carotene, dude, it's definitely not good for you, but that's okay. But I think eventually, dude, I'm gonna get sponsored by either. If Red Bull told me.
Have you tried the new Bang Chocolata?
No, dude, that sounds disgusting.
Amazing. See, I thought it was something else. I tried it. It tastes like you're just drinking a Hershey's bar.
Gross. It sounds like thick. It sounds like a thick drink.
No, it's amazing. If you guys like Bang, try I think it's whole lotta chocolata. I thought it was a coolata. When I first saw it, it looked like whole lotta coolata. And then I took a sip. I was like, this tastes like chocolate.
And it's Hershey's, like a Hershey's taste?
No, it's my favorite. It's actually my favorite Bang.
Dude, mine is like the mango. I think the mango one's bomb. And the cherry, there's the vanilla cherry. But then I felt like...
Ooh. That sounds good.
Yeah, vanilla cherry is the best, dude. And then eventually, though, it's just so much, and you can just go fake.
My favorite used to be Skedaddle one, the Skeladdles or something.
Skedaddle, that's fun.
Anyways, welcome guys to the #1 podcast in the world.
In the fucking world.
Axios Fux podcast. As you can see, if you're watching, oh my gosh, sorry. As you can see, if you're watching it on video, I'm at the studio. Vasily's yet to come down to the studio. He's moving down to the studio very soon. So if we can get 10 comments on this, he'll probably move in the next couple of days. If we can get 20 comments on this, he'll probably pack up tonight and just drive his Mercedes down
all the way
down to Florida, not stopping, and he'll do it on three 5-hour energies and 2 packs of Newports.
You'll probably need like 4 or 5 5-hour energies.
No, I did it on 2 and 2 and 1.
You need 24 hours, 5 hours per. Let's just say I'm coming with a depleted sort of energy. I need 5. I'm gonna need 5.
Right, you're right. Yeah, if you're just I mean, the thing is, after that ride, what I realized, because you have to be analytically you have to be on the whole time, is that I had had to be engaged for 24 hours straight, which is people don't do that.
Yeah.
And my mind felt so much sharper. It felt so sharp because for 24 hours, imagine having the discipline that if you mess up once, your life is on the line. And it really showed me what the human is capable of. Let me ask
you this. Dude, during the drive, were you thinking like, I'm going to stop? Like, were you like, was it that giving in point? Let's say, I'm going to give you like an idea. When you're like curling, let's say you're doing some curls. And after the 8th or 9th one, you're really feeling it. And if you do a couple, like 3 or 4 more, dude, your biceps are going to be like torn apart, right? So I know that a lot of things, like making calls too. When I'm making calls for real estate, I'll go to like number 50 or 60 and I'm like, screw this.
Yeah.
50 and 60. But then, and like the analogy would be those amount of reps after you're feeling tired, let's say doing curls, it's similar to those extra calls you have to make when you're in real estate, right?
Yeah. For me, okay, so the whole time, I think the secret to this is realizing that you have control over when you get the result you want. Meaning, I immediately thought, hey, I can't make calls. It was the day before Thanksgiving. I can't make calls, so I'm going to go be productive. How can I be as productive as possible? I could go get a flight to Massachusetts. That would take a while. Schedule it, bring my bags, pack my bags, everything like
Yeah.
that. So I just left with the shirt and pants on my body already. I jumped in the car, brought Leo.
You were just straight rotting. That's
Yeah.
rotting.
So, and I had envisioned in my mind, if I leave now and I do not stop, because it's a 20-hour drive, I can get there tomorrow at this same time. So it was that image of being already at the house that drove me to being there. So for phone calls, what I envision is I'm already sitting in front of the homeowner getting the listing contract signed. So when I start making those calls, I don't look at the amount of calls I'm making. I don't look at the amount of time that I'm spending. I focus all of my energy on I'm sitting in front of the homeowner that is signing this listing paperwork, and it ends up happening every time. And then I'm already happy, because really all we want is the feeling of something, right? And people say this in different ways, but it's not that we want the Lamborghini so that we can, just have it, right? Yeah. It's the feeling that we want, that we're sitting in the Lamborghini, driving 150 miles per hour. We're seeing the flashing lights. We're hearing the sound of the engine. It's the feeling. It's that we're after. So if you already can present day feel that way that you would when you have already achieved what you want, then it's so much easier to be doing the work that it's going to take you to get there. There's going to be a lag period when you will not see the results of all the work that you're putting in.
That's where people give up. And
that's when people give up. Exactly. And that's why today I posted, the fact that what comfort today are you sacrificing for tomorrow? Because every day we're building ourselves, or we're destroying ourselves for our next day self, ultimately. So that's kind of what happened. So yeah.
So I think this kind of, I don't know, I was thinking about this, I don't know, on the drive back here or the drive to an appointment, and I was thinking, let's talk about ego. Ego.
It's a great topic.
Dude, I was thinking about it. It's like, I always send you these voice memos, whatever they're called. And I'm like, when I send you those,
Dude, I love voice memos. They're so much better than text.
So much better. You can do it anytime
you want. I don't think many people do them. I don't think Mom didn't even know that it existed. No. Fahad thought it was weird. So it was like, and I don't know if I started it or you did. I think I did it first.
I've sent them to girls after dates. And they're like, this dude's a weirdo. This dude's a straight weirdo.
I've actually done the same thing.
Yeah. They think it's too extroverted. It
is very extroverted. But it's so, for somebody that you do know, or even that you don't, like, because for us it's normal, but for somebody else, it's like that dude's maybe like, he's too comfortable with me already.
To my clients,
you know what I mean?
Them once. I already sent one to a client I met today for the first time. I sent them a voicemail right after the meeting, and they're probably like, who the hell is this guy? But it's like, what I was saying was, the reason when I send you those voice memos and I give you those ideas, like one of the things I sent you today was, sitting in Romania, whatever it may be, and the type of scene I was describing.
Drinking a cappuccino, sitting across from some fine Romanian girls or something, that's what it goes on in Vasily's head, just so that you guys know on a daily basis.
A couple times a day, that's what I'm thinking.
Cigar in the mouth, a nice 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
Sitting back, fresh haircut, cappuccinos.
And that, I don't even know if it's that motivates me. I don't think it's actually that scene, that ideal scene that I'm talking about, but it's actually just the knowing,
the feeling.
And I don't know if that has to do with some sort of ego, like you can do that when you have some sort of ego, or because everyone has the ego.
Yeah, because there's a feeling that you get when you have a massive ego. That's why, think about it. That's what, what is his name? Mike Tyson said.
Yeah.
He said, I just had a massive ego. And they were like, why did you do that? Why did you have that massive ego? And he was like, it just felt so good.
Yeah.
To have that massive ego. Like, I'm the best. And it's like the amount of respect that flows to you when, in order to it's the feeling of like respect flowing to you at all times. That's why men love the idea of having the Lambo, getting out of the Lambo in their 3-piece suit with a, you know, a
It's not even the
$100,000
material they like.
watch.
It's just what it gives them.
Yeah, it's that feeling. It's the feeling of respect by everyone that looks at you. And same with, you know, if you have the hot girl next to you in the Lambo, or you have the watch that only 3 people have, maybe Mayweather and Grant Cardone, and then you have the third one. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like a certain room, a certain strata.
Exactly. And that is actually what propels us to, you know, even a biological level, to actually go and do things at a biological level. It's not just some mind thing. It's on a survival level that we as humans want to survive better. And that ultimately is attached to our ego, because if we didn't strive for that, we'd all be sitting on the couch eating chips, and the species would never continue to catapult itself in the future. And we wouldn't have lasted as long as a species if we didn't have the ego.
Yeah, dude, Elon Musk, I mean, think about that. You're telling me this dude isn't driving. I mean, okay, of course he wants to help human civilization. Sure, that's fine. But who wouldn't want to reap the benefits or the feeling of being the first guy to have a population or civilization on Mars? I mean,
what I realized with him too is that his ego, I feel like with him and the people that have really done major things like Amazon and Apple and stuff, I really think that they are the select few that maybe it's not about ego, just in my opinion. But what I do realize about Elon Musk is that recently he's been a lot more, you can tell with how he talks or tweets. Yeah. He'll tweet something like, I paid 60 billion in taxes. What makes you think I don't pay taxes? Like, that comes from ego. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's a flex.
And also when you have this ego, so I think if you have no ego and you're kind of like really conserved, and you're not out there, you're not extroverting, a lot of the times you're conserved because you're thinking people are going to attack you. People are going to attack you in some way.
I agree. I totally agree.
But when you're so big like an Elon Musk, he probably isn't fearful. He has all the money in the world, all the, you know, the fame in the world to protect
security if he wants it.
Yeah, he was getting with he was getting with, I don't think he ever talked about it. He was getting with Johnny Depp's ex-wife, who I guess is crazy, and there's footage of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
He didn't talk about it. He doesn't care.
I didn't know that. Yeah, no, I didn't know that. Yeah, and I think to your point about the wait, what did you just say about the ego? I forget what you just said about that.
Very conserved.
Yes. So a lot of times, especially in modern day, and this is something that I've fell kind of victim to, is this idea that if you are so selfless, you're so great for society. Like but this is what I mean by that. The people that are so overtly about love and you know, don't work so hard, and peace for everyone, and you know, this whole concept, this whole like airy fairy, you know, this whole thing, it's not as selfless as you would think, because you're putting people in a trance that they think they do not have to work to fix their immediate problems by taking action. You know what I mean? And that's where I fell victim to that. And I really don't know, because I don't know all the metaphysics behind it of you know, something that Grant Cardone talks about, what's more important, the law of action or the law of attraction. And it's one of those things that I don't know if anyone knows the truth about that.
Law of attraction.
What was that?
I would think the law of action would create the law of attraction.
That's a great concept. Oh, wow, that I never heard about that.
Think about like people always talk about it. The people who get lucky typically are the people who did a lot. 1,000 calls every day for the next week, but you got nothing. And then someone calls you, I don't know, and says, "Come list my property." Everyone's like, "This guy's so lucky." You know?
Wow. Yeah.
You know?
That I really love that. No, that brings a lot of clarity to the subject.
Law of attraction.
Yeah. Because, you know, I think when I was accomplishing the most and helping the most amount of people, I felt a massive ego. I felt like a massive ego was at play, and I wanted to impress people. I wanted to be respected by people. I wanted people to think highly of me. It's when I was the opposite of that, which I don't know what that would be. It's that, oh, nothing really like matters. Just
Other people's opinions
love
don't
thy
matter.
neighbor. Just love thy neighbor, and that's your only responsibility.
Yeah.
That's when I always felt the worst actually inside.
Dude,
I didn't feel as good.
I think
I didn't feel
this
as
wasn't
good.
that long ago when you were feeling like that.
No, it wasn't that long ago.
I remember this.
It wasn't.
I remember the conversations. I was like, dude, this dude Christian, he's lost. And I didn't want to say it, but I'm
Right.
like, and then, after a couple months, it switched again.
And that's why I don't have all the answers as in terms of what exactly happened. But what I do know is that when it was focused, when I got more selfish with myself, I started helping more people. And when I was so selfless, quote unquote selfless, and not focused on how I can actually provide value for other people in an exchangeable way in the marketplace,
Yeah.
I was not doing nearly as good as how I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the massive, massive confusion that people are in. And I think that goes right in line with what we were going to talk about today. But did you want to add anything before we do?
We're talking about ego. I don't know. The whole ego subject is awesome. I don't know. I like it because people hate
It's so frowned on. It's so frowned upon.
frowned upon.
Yeah.
But if you have no ego, dude. It's
every great leader, like, whether they might say they don't have an ego, but why are they talking in front of these massive stages? Why are they doing all these things?
it's saying, listen,
you don't. Yeah, listen to me. I know. Like, I feel good when you all are attentive to what I'm saying. That's at the end of the day, that's an ego. That's an ego.
Yeah, and it's a good ego too. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
If you're so confident in yourself, and you can use that in a positive way. I mean, there's ways you can use that in a negative way, but most of the times, I mean, past presidents, all presidents have ego. There has to be.
Some of the actual most selfless people that I've met are the people who no one knows.
Yeah.
Like, for example, right? Our grandmother. She's way more selfless than anyone who's on a stage in front of like 500,000 people, right? Exactly. In a more personal way. She would take care of me. She would give her last dollar for me. She would give her last cookie for me, right? Yeah. But then there's people, and that's why ego is not bad, because these people are helping hundreds and thousands of people, but our perception of ego is so messed up that we think that, oh, this person's bad, because they have an ego, when in actuality, they're helping mass amounts of people. I don't know if what I'm saying is coming out right, but.
No. It makes total sense. I think about this. So for example, she could help, maybe one or two people at a time.
That's it.
One or two people.
That's it. But she's the most selfless person.
Most selfless. But then you have a Grant Cardone who admits he's greedy. He admits he's greedy sometimes, and he's selfish. Right.
And that's why people don't like him.
Yeah. But he's helped out. I mean, probably millions at this point. People get off drugs and make money. Like and he's selfish. But people want that. People are actually yearning for it. But it's
people want that, and people I think want to be that, but they have these limiting beliefs that is bad.
That's bad.
And that's why when people see the guy who says what he wants, right? He says he wants the Lambo. He says he wants to be, getting out of the Lambo with the $100,000 watch and being in the private jets. That person is so-called bad, even though they're doing a lot to society and they are driven by that ego. But it's like, I don't know. It's definitely an interesting concept.
It is, because it's the idea of wanting to have nice things is like
so bad.
Makes no sense. But
right.
Each his own. So I wanted to talk about. So you want to talk about prospecting, those things. I feel like I had another thing I wanted to say. but we can get into that. We can get into that in terms of like action.
Yeah.
You can go.
You want to drop the hammer on them?
So, okay, you want me to drop the hammer?
Just drop the hammer.
So in any sales game, so number one, I actually just dropped my course.
Yep.
You guys can check it out on my Instagram. There's a link under my, what is it called? Linktree? Is that how you pronounce it?
Linktree, yeah.
So you can get it on there. It's going to go through all of the avenues. It's not just real estate. It's actually sales as a whole, which I changed to Christian. So I want it to be more of a
broad concept,
wide concept, I guess you could say, open concept. But it's going over taking action, prospecting, actually getting your foot in the door and doing well your first year, your second year. If you're just an average, Joe Schmo who's, been.
Hopefully you're not an average Joe Schmo, but if you are.
But if you are, that's okay. And
that's okay. Everyone starts somewhere.
But if you're in year 5 and you're really just doing like 5 to 10 deals and you're
probably not getting the right information.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have the right sources for your information. So basically, Christian's going to go over, if you're not taking action, you're wasting your time. There's no end in sight. It's going to be mundane. It's going to suck.
I'm going to go over that?
Yeah, you're going to go over it.
Okay, right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go over your experience in the last 4 months compared to the first 6 months.
Okay, so my first 6 months, I was extremely confused. See, the thing with today is people think, this concept of courses is so bad because there's all the information in the world online, right? Mm-hmm. Knowledge is so readily available, which also means that there is a massive cesspool of incorrect information everywhere you look.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is, when I started real estate, I started asking people, and that was my biggest mistake. I started asking people that do not know how to relay information and correct information in a conceptual way that can be consumed, right? So what happened is you get information from one person saying this just takes time. And from another person, you get information
dude, I remember it just takes time.
Just get on the phones. And online, you find, here's the 7-step method. And then you have all this information. And this is where the real idiots are the people who think that, why are you buying a course? All the information is on Google. It's like, dude, if that was the case, why don't you get your law degree on Google?
Yeah.
Why don't you get your all these other things? Why don't you know how to do JavaScript, right? Or break apart a computer and put it back together, or take apart a car and put it back together? It's the reason is, and why do people need boxing coaches? Why do people need Spanish teachers? It's because they cannot select the correct information that is important right now to utilize and to build upon that in a way that it will bring you to success, right? Because all this information is invaluable if it's not put into like, what is it? A gradient, right? A gradient that you can take action upon. So, yeah.
I got to go over this. So this is one of the biggest things. Sorry about that. One of the biggest things is, dude, I've been to conferences, and every time someone who's making, I'm like, I've realized this now. Someone who's making $100 million and is on stage and telling me all this information, I have no idea what this dude is saying. I'm picking out little pieces and bits, but this guy making $100 million cannot tell someone who's making $10,000 in their own business how to make $100,000.
20,000.
Yeah.
20,000 a month or something.
They do not.
No.
So that's why I kind of built the course, because I'm thinking, shit, like when I'm getting to that point of these people who are on stage, I want to be able to give something back to someone who's actually coming to the conference. Because if they're coming to the conference and they're in the back of the room, they're probably not making, their problem isn't making $100 million. Their problem is making $50,000.
Of course.
It's too steep a gradient. So
it's too steep.
Gradient.
Exactly. And that's why people, they leave these conferences and nothing happens. is because the person that's speaking is the person that's operating at 100x what you are. So their level of simplicity can be very, very, what is the word? Pan determined. The information is it's almost like when like, let's say they were to tell me when I just got my license, money follows attention. Money follows attention. Like, that's cool and all, but like, how do I get a client? How do I get a lead? You know what I mean? Like, what's my script? Who do I call? What is a mortgage? What is a house? What is the first sale by owner or expireds? So that information does not help me. You know what I mean? As it gives me an idea, okay, I need to get in front of customers, but that's more of, okay, I'm pan determined, which basically means, guys, that you are overseeing operation, right? So you're overseeing your company. What do you have to do? Oh, increase ad spend, because that's going to get you in front of more people. That's where that information would be very helpful, because you're pan determined out of your business. But like, okay, if I'm in my business and I'm not really working on my business because I just got my license, I'm not a business owner, I don't know business, then what's the most important information? Right?
Dude,
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, dude, that's scary to think about, because honestly, like, dude, I go to the
it's just the worst information that's being spewed at you. So that's why it's so important, to have a coach, and not just any coach. And this is what I really wanted to get the point across, is that you have to be extremely, just as selective as you are with picking the information out in the Google universe. You have to be selective with your teacher, because the teacher always has their own best interest at hand. A lot of them. I'm not going to say everyone. Like, I know you don't. Like, for Vasily, he's doing this for you guys, right? But look at the boxing coach that has, their person who is so freaking slow and only knows how to do a 1-2-1-2 after 6 weeks of paying them. Look at the Spanish school system at high school, where somebody can take Spanish for 4 years and doesn't know how to say hello.
Like, hello, how's your day? I don't even know how to say
that.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. Now let's look at, there's obviously a level of responsibility that you have to take on your own, but like, it also has to do with like the information that you're given, and that's why me and you, like, we get extremely frustrated when we start something new, which doesn't happen often in life, that you're starting a new industry. But at the same time, for example, at High Grade, we had a handbook. We had a certain amount of things that before you even come out to California. Once you're out in California, we're hitting the doors because you already have memorized your pitch, and we know you have, because you sent us a video of you memorizing your pitch, right? Yeah. So it's like, it's by a gradient, and Vasily, you guys have to get his course, because the reason is because I know from experience, we're the same people in terms of what the information we need to consume when, and how it's going to lead us to, that end result. Vasily's not going to tell you guys that you should go to your local marketing, your local farmers market and meet people.
Dude, there's
to
no
get
way.
to get clients.
There's no way, and people will tell you that.
People will tell you that, and that's how that's shit information. Yeah. You cannot replicate this. Yeah. What, the farmers market that's twice a month? You want me to go to that? Like, are you kidding me? This is twice a month. Dude, I don't even eat fruit. I eat Frosted Flakes for 3 meals a day. Like, what if you're one of those people? You're still going to go to the farmer's market?
Dude, it's a good point, because if you look at it, the information I put in there, Christian, like me and you'd read it and be like, this is mad basic, but it's still like a really good foundation point for you to like revisit what actually works. So, dude, it's such a good point, because the farmer's market shit and running ads.
It's crap.
Dude, I don't even run ads. I don't even run ads yet. I haven't ran an ad yet for real estate. Maybe one.
Me neither.
It works like crap. So, and that's what a lot of people in real estate and sales do. They go the passive route. It's passive marketing. Shit does not work. I don't care what anyone tells me. It does not work.
No, it doesn't. That's what I mean. It sucks. And for somebody who really is very responsible, and they God forbid you put your career and you move states or something, and you put yourself into somebody's hands that tells you some passive marketing bullshit. You are fucked.
Yeah,
You are straight screwed.
it's
I'm sorry.
really
Go
dangerous.
right home. Go right home right now, and don't even just text them after you're on the road, because if they're telling you to do something like go to the farmers markets every 2 weeks, and that's a long-term play, but life's short, and you don't know if you're going to survive tomorrow. You need something that's guaranteed, that's going to get you paid next month.
So you can start paying for these things.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can send somebody else to the farmers market, because the likelihood of that paying off within the next 3 years is slim to none. This is like an old method that like the people who would be a realtor, they know they're going to be a realtor for the next 30 years, living in one town for the next 30 years. That's when, if you're going to be that person, please do that.
But how are you going to even pay for the fruit? Let's just start with that.
Yeah, how are you going to pay for the fruit?
So you need to get deals, dude, immediately and inexpensive.
The most relieving thing is when you can join a company, for example, and the boss says, this is when you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
Right. This is when you're going to get paid. You automatically can take a deep breath. Like Vasily, once you join his course and you follow along the classes, I think he has a method, and tell me if I'm wrong, Vasily, but of seeing when people complete a section of the course. Do you have that?
I do. Yep.
So he can gauge when you're going to get paid, and he's not going to bullshit you. If it's going to take you 3 months, 4 months before you get paid, you're getting that information. But he can also, the beautiful thing about the methods that Vasily teaches is that he can also shortcut the amount of time that it takes you to get a deal based on the level of effort you're willing to put in. If you're going to call 3,500 people in 5 days, he can gauge what that's going to look like.
I'll be with certainty it's going to work.
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
Even if you call and you're like, hey, my name's Christian, and they go, why the hell are you calling me? Do you have a house? If you did that 3,500 times and you had that conversation, one person would be willing to listen to your conversation, even if you were the dull person on the phone.
Of course, because and another reason is probably you're going to talk to a couple of people that stutter just like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
An old man probably wants you to be slow anyways on the phone. So
exactly. It's just a numbers game.
Yeah. And yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's the idea of people try to go from 3 to 4 before they've learned 0 to 1. And
exactly.
That's where you have, I think, these agents today where maybe they
just lay it on the line. Just lay the hammer down.
Dude, just the agents that probably are doing 40 deals a year, but have been doing 40 deals a year for the last 10 years.
Exactly.
They don't have the foundation, dude. They've missed it. I can only get better. I can only get better because no matter what, I can always go from 0 to 1. Mm-hmm. And if I can always go from 0 to 1, I can generate money to go to 2 to 3 and 3 to 4.
That's really good. I like that concept.
People are at 3 to 4, but they don't know how to do 1 and 2 or 0 to 1. It's just stupid.
The same people that tell you that passive crap are the same people that are going to tell you to have another job while you start real estate.
Yeah, dude. It sounds.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the thing is that those people that go from part-time job while doing real estate, they never actually learn 0 to 1, because you can never fully invest in, making phone calls if you're not really doing it full time.
If you don't need it, dude. If you don't need it,
yeah.
If you're not scared, you're not going to learn 0 to 1, in my opinion.
I think you're right.
Like, dude, I was talking to an agent today, and he's like, yeah, dude.
By the way, Vasily, sorry to cut you off. What time are we at right now? Do you know? Do you not know? That's okay.
37 probably, like 37 minutes, I think.
Cool.
I was thinking.
I just like to make sure it's an hour.
Yeah. Anyways. I was talking to an agent today, and they said, "Oh, I signed up a listing."
Mm-hmm.
And this agent's like, 50s, maybe 60s, whatever. And I'm thinking, like, dude, like, you've been doing this for the last 30 years. Mm-hmm. If that still excites you,
oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So listen, I think for people, honestly, If you can,
and we're not talking about, just so that you guys know, we're not talking about the people who have been through some shit and they're having a life-changing career. And because that was me and Vasily last year, you know,
yeah,
when you're still learning, this is not the type of people we're talking about. We're talking about the people who they know exactly, like they've been in the industry for a while.
way long, 30 times longer than us. 30 times.
Yeah. Or, I mean, we also are talking about the people that maybe have been in for 3 years and like they're still in their part-time job. Like they have to just take the jump. They have to jump.
Yeah, burn the boats. But I was just thinking to myself, like, dude, like, with learning how to use the phones to get deals, like, think about how much stuff after just using the phones to get deals you can learn about.
Mm-hmm.
So it took us, let's say, it took you started at 18. You started at 18, maybe doing door-to-door, 19?
I think 19.
So it's been 6 years. So you've now mastered how to do cold prospecting, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's always improving.
It's always improving, but the jump of the from when you started to maybe 2 years after you started, dude, the jump was so big. It's always gonna get bigger, or it's always gonna get better and better and better.
But like very marginally.
That's what I'm saying. So now, dude, you have that foundation. No matter what happens, you always can make phone calls. Then let's say you want to pick up running ads. The amount you're going to get better from the day you start running ads to 5 years down the road is going to be so big. Once you've mastered that, you can master the third thing. So I think agents master one thing, and then the growth of that thing becomes so small every year, it's stagnant. So I think learning the 0 to 1 and having that at least found that most important foundation where no matter what happens, you can get deals will propel you in a way where you can start learning everything else, how to run ads, how to work on referrals, because referrals isn't an easy business either. It's not.
No, not at all. No. And I really like what you're saying because just to give you guys a little story, just really quickly, when me and my business partner, Emmanuel, we had our solar company, we started going from 0 to 1, knocking doors. Then in order to build our business, we went from 1 to 2, which was managing, training. It was all the other stuff that a business needs. We learned those business skills. Mm-hmm. We decided thereafter to fire everyone on our team, not realizing that we were going to have to go to 0 to 1, and we hadn't done that for years.
Yeah.
That's when we got hit with the wrecking ball, the brick wall. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's so important to not only when you do know how to get deals with phone calls, but you never become rusty. You always have to be in the trenches, making phone calls. I suggest that everyone makes phone calls every day. Even if you have a team, even if you have, agents under you, whatever it is, because the phone call is not just like for your business. That's a level of communication, direct communication, that's not easy. And if you lose that skill, it's going to be very, very difficult to get back. Whatever happened to me the last, 2 years, it had something to do with me taking the easy route and me getting comfortable. And one thing recently that I've done is gotten extremely uncomfortable, and I feel more like myself than I have in years. And I think that's what's coming out of me. It's when you polish a pearl, you take all the fog off, you take all the crap off, and that process happens when you're doing the hard thing, when you're making the phone calls, when you're confronting what you have to. You take all the polish off, you're left with this beautiful diamond or this beautiful pearl. And that is what you can the world's your oyster at that point. But until you go through that process of getting back like your true self, by doing the hard thing, you'll never reach your full potential.
Dude, you know what I was thinking this weekend? New Year's Eve, we were talking on the phone a little bit. I was in the office. No one in the office all weekend. No one's here Sunday. No one's been here. No one was here yesterday. No one. It's
gonna be a massive brick wall once people come back.
Yeah. So, dude, New Year's Eve, I'm like old school. We're young, but I'm very old school with things. I don't know. I'm very bad with technology. Like you see me, I'm horrible.
I know. I don't know how. Like you guys would not expect somebody like Vasily to be really bad at technology, but he has some blind spot when it comes to technology. I don't know why.
Yeah, so difficult.
And you've always been like that. And you were literally born in 2000, which means literally when the internet started. In 2000, I think the internet started.
I was in the prime time, but I'm worse than a lot of 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
But I developed or understood. It took me 5 hours to figure out how TikTok works.
Yeah, yeah.
TikTok and then these reels. So the thing is, dude, the amount I'm using, it's so exciting because I figured out at first I was resisting using TikTok because I didn't understand.
Me too.
Because I was like, I fucking hate TikTok, but I only hate it because I didn't get it.
Me too, yeah.
Now, dude, the ideas of
I love TikTok now.
Dude, I can touch
adds music. It adds music so smoothly.
So smooth. And the idea is now, dude, you can post if you're in any type of business, dude, it's free advertisement. Dude, I can do LinkedIn, I can do Snapchat, I can do Facebook, I can do Instagram, I can do Instagram Reels.
The beautiful thing is that on TikTok, it downloads onto your phone. You post it on your Instagram story. So then people see this little thing that's floating around on the video and they're like, wow, this dude has a TikTok too.
Dude, there's so many people I can talk to. On Friday, along with the 100 people or the 150 calls I made, I posted a reel which hit 3,000 people. Then I made a TikTok. I don't know how many people hit. Then I put it on LinkedIn and then on Snapchat. Dude, I'm like, holy shit, dude. The day we live in, it's like you can talk to, I probably reached a total of maybe 8,000 people.
Exactly. Dude, and one thing that I want to add with what Vasily just said is the fact that he's doing all these different things, which are very technical, actually. Learning how to do TikTok, learning how to, make calls and all these things. But when you listen to him and he's saying how he's doing all these things, you can see what information would be important for him. He's doing all these very technical things, which, may not be to you, but whatever, that's beside the point. But let's say, for example, what we were talking about prior is being pan-determined and hearing all this from an outside point of view. If Vasily was the worker, the person who's pan-determined could take the information such as more attention equals more cash and utilize that to tell Vasily, hey, ramp this up, ramp that up, ramp this up. But Vasily, as himself, going to a conference and hearing the information, more attention means more money, is not going to teach him how to learn TikTok. No. It's not going to teach him how to make calls and be technical about how to schedule an appointment. But if you hear what Vasily's saying and you're his boss, or you're, even just pan-determined, or you become, the person who's running somebody who's doing all these different things, that information is very valuable. So that's where we get the Grant Cardone telling you, hey, attention equals income. Yeah. He is the business owner. He's not the person who's running his own TikTok, running his own Instagram.
I'm so excited. This is going to be disclosure. Like, I'm disclosing this. I don't know if it's disclosure, but when I can hire someone, dude, there's going to be probably 10 Instagram posts a day, 15 TikToks a day, like 2,000 tweets. Snapchat's going to be just bombarded. So if you're following me, I'm just giving you a heads up for the next 2 to 3 years. That's what it's going to look like. That's what it's going to look like.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that would be excellent information if you're the boss of somebody who's doing everything that you're currently doing, right? And what is basically 0 to 1? It's all that 0 to 1 that is valuable, way 1,000,000 times more valuable than 1 to 2 data. Like data that would, or information that would get you from 1 to 2 is 0.00001% valuable to you at this stage. Most people that's listening. Yeah. The information that's going to get you from 0 to 1 is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to you.
Lose everything, you still know how to make that, at least that 0 to 1 back. And 0 to 1 is never that bad.
Mm-hmm. Never that bad. Exactly.
You can still travel. You can still make decent money. You can still do this, but at least you're never going to just die, dude. You're never going to die at 0 to 1. You're always going to have food.
Exactly.
It's great. Okay, Christian, was there anything else you want to go over?
No, I think that's it. Next time we can go over kind of like the numbers, which, I think we prepared them for that next video of going over more of the numbers.
Did you got to cut? I mean, do you want to post this tonight or no?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's post it tonight.
Post it tonight. Can you yeah, okay. What do you okay, yeah, let's do that.
Can you just post it real quick?
Yeah, dude, I'll post it. The next one, you're fucking posting it.
Okay, I'll post the next one.
You post the next
Dude,
one.
I got the nice setup.
This is a good
People have something good to look at.
Yeah, dude, that's fine. Fine. We'll post it. I'll post it right now. And
Sick.
You gotta.
Yes, you guys are lucky. You guys are getting this literally 20 minutes after it was recorded.
After we just get things done, dude. On to the next thing. But you gotta make some clips.
Yeah, because I worked with your schedule, so this is the least that you can do.
Okay, fine. But you at least have to make some clips. You got to make some clips out of.
I'll make some clips.
This was good content, dude. This is, I think, the best.
Dude, this is fire content. They should pay us for this, but we're gonna give it to them for free.
Give it to free. Okay, dude. Well, I'll post this. I'll get this done. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, dude. Talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.